Okay. Let's go. Oh, hey, no respawns. Nice. Alrighty. Oh, a sandstorm's coming. Well, I'm glad we got here this quickly. Yo, how cool, Sylphie. That's awesome, man. Always wanted to go to France. Have fun out there. Do. I think that's heading right for us, chat. Oh, whoops.
Sector weather alert. A large sandstorm is approaching.
I'm not sheltered in here? Really? No? Nowhere? There we go. Great. What am I doing here?
Praise accepted.
Ah! Great job to the mod team. Thank you, buddy. Thank you very much.
Great job to the mod team, always on point in chat.
All right, what is this one? This one is regaining control. Scan the area for clues. Oh, son of a biscuit. I don't have a scanner. Okay. We're going to wait this out real quick. Of course I don't have a scanner. Of course I don't have a scanner.
Sector weather alert. A large sandstorm is approaching.
That's a cool shirt. Thank you. My son Kai made this for me. Yeah, I love this shirt. It's one of my favorites. Can you scan with Adopter? We can. Does that work? Maybe we can scan it from up top. I don't know. Oh god. They were unsheltered? Oh god. Thank god it's over. Jeez, man. Okay, I scanned it. Does that count? Oh my lord, okay. Nope, didn't count. Okay, we'll bring a hand scanner out next time. Cool, cool. All right, next up is this one. Secrets of the Syndicate. Secret. Okay. Going in. Bottom of thigh. Mm-hmm. Wait, did that drop it off? Oh, we don't have enough to pick it up. Let's do you. Oh, I must have broken something down at the base. Actually, you know what? I think I'm going to drop this stuff. Yeah. That's plenty. Cool. Yep, I'm going on vacation for about 3 days. I'm gone for about 3 days. The Pizza King.
Super chat. I've really enjoyed your coverage of this game.
Thank you.
Really fair and balanced. Also nice the devs actually addressed some flaws and are making corrections.
Oh god, that was about the worst thing that could have happened. Thank you very much, Pizza King. I appreciate that super chat, and glad you're enjoying our coverage of this, dude. It's been a lot of fun. I have had a really good time with this game. It's been a long time since the game grabbed me this much. So I'm thrilled that you guys have been enjoying coming along for the ride as well. This is not the kind of thing where I'm leaving, coming back, and playing Death Stranding, and I'm just going to be done with this game. I can already tell, like, I'll probably be here for a bit. I've been having a great time with it. Want to see all the changes. I haven't even done PvP yet, and I want to. I actually want to do PvP. Haven't even really done it yet. Oh, there's more Servox. The main reason we're here is the Servox. And any healing. Where are the rest of this? There should be a bunch more here. Did I miss a building? Huh. Okay. Area is much tinier than I thought. Also a quest here we need to do. Where's this quest? There it is. Okay. We are investigating the syndicate. Where to next? We get the intel? We did. Alright, I guess we're done here. Weird. Let's hit this one. Yeah, really not a lot of stuff here. There. Iron Pure, thank you for that 2 gifted subs, buddy. Appreciate you, man. Okay, this looks bigger. There we go. I'll land right here. I'll land on your roof. Hi. Awesome. Great. Servox. Awesome. That's why we're here. Sorry, girl. Lo siento, mi amiga. Is the vendor up yet? I'm not sure. Client said something bugged out last night. So I'm not really sure what's going on there anymore. Yeah, Kleinix mentioned that, like, the vendor came up for a little bit and then the Landsrad reset or something. But I haven't checked today. I thought Cohh was on vacation. I'm leaving in just a little bit. Mm-hmm. Okay, more Servox. We didn't get the intel here yet, right? No, we've still got... There's still something else here. Oh, no, we already got it. We already got the intel here. Okay. Okay, we're good. Alrighty. Love to get, like, one more hit of Servox if we can. That's one more hit, but only 4. Can we do one more, chat? Can we do one more?
Identify yourself.
Oh, you're not dead. Shy hello. Okay. I think we're good. Okay. Boop. Let's go back and see if we can build what we need to. We're gonna clearly have to do this like probably a couple more times. Nixo, no, I've not done the thing yet. We'll do a quick look at the tips before we go. In fact, let's go back to the base and go from here. Let me look at this real quick. I have not actually looked at it yet. Right. No, we're going this way. No. Okay, guys, so what we're going to do real quick before I leave for the day is my YouTube guys wanted to throw together a tips and tricks video. So I think that's a great idea. And I think it's just going to be like a rapid fire tips and tricks. So we're going to come up with some good ones. So like some of the best ones, I think we're going to talk about. Let's see. First, let me get this phone again. We're going to talk about the corpse over there, of course. We're going to talk about the stages of the game. Let's see. We'll do... probably start with stage of the game, I think. Tip 1, don't get eaten by Dave. Yeah, are you going to keep playing this after DS2? I am planning on revisiting this game and keeping updated. Yeah. Buggy and having your cutter out? Oh, that's just a visual display. That doesn't actually give you more. But yeah, we'll kind of go down the list. I'll probably do like a bunch of tips, and they can kind of pick and choose which ones they want. Yeah, what we'll do, chat, is I've got a list of some great tips here that we've kind of said throughout the course of the stream. So we'll go over those, and then we'll get some good suggestion ones from chat as well. And then the YouTube guys can pick all the best ones. Yes, just the tips. Just the tips. Ooh, another one is not showing them because of spoilers, but letting people know that some of the end game vehicles and crafting engines are very large. So if you are wanting one base to rule them all kind of thing, account for that early. Yeah, I think that's a good tip. All right, first thing we're going to do is get this base under control. We're going to build one more power thing and make sure that it is set for at least, what, 4 days? I need 4 days, I think. That's how long I'll be gone. No, I'm not gonna say the tip about the safe flower sand areas. Those are bugged. That's not really a tip. Come on, man. You guys can't do that. Oh, we can't add any more. Oh, geez. Okay. All right, you know what we'll do? So, Nico, or if you're watching now, we'll just start doing tips now, like as I'm running around the base, and we can kind of amalgamate them in whatever order you guys think is good, but we can just start doing tips and kind of going from there, kind of go down the list. So, okay. Let's do it. Hi, everybody. CohhCarnage here with a tips and tricks video for Dune. This video is going to have all sorts of tricks that run from beginner to advanced. You probably know some of these you may not. And this may not be the first of these, or the last of these videos. It's definitely the first, though. So anyway, without further delay, let's go ahead and jump in. Okay, cool. Ciart, thank you so much for that, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, one of the things about live streaming is I just do everything live. So, you know, most YouTubers do all this stuff behind the scenes, but I just do it with you because I live stream. Okay. One cool tip that I like to do in this game is I'm a survival builder, and in almost all other games like this, I always use the B button to build. Well, you can't assign the B button because the build item is an item in this game. It's not an actual command. So what I did is I actually changed the last button in my loadout to B. So no longer is it the 8 key, it is actually the B key, and then I just always plant my construction tool there. And now I just hit B to build whatever I want. It's great. You can do this for all sorts of other things as well. Cool. There you go. Oh, I need to go build this too. We also have, okay. One very cool aspect of this game is circuits. And circuits are basically a rudimentary input-output system that lets you control the flow of resources throughout your base. If a crafting engine ever has full slots, or it is completely full on volume, the first thing it will attempt to do is pass the item that it's trying to make into the circuit. So if you fill up your storage with, say, ammo or coins, then what happens is it will try to put the item in your engine. It will not be able to, and then it will immediately go to your circuit to try to place the item somewhere else. If you then go to any of your storage chests and then set the input circuit, which is the left one, to the output circuit of the previous engine you were looking at, then whatever that engine makes will then automatically be placed in that storage chest. So some people, for instance, like all of their storage or all of their crafting engines to output into specific different storages, so they always know exactly how much of things they have. Great way to do that if you want to. Also a great tip if you have multiple people in the same base, you guys can pick a couple circuits and all have your own items going out of your own storages without any issues in the same base. Cool. Another quick tip is to just account for the fact that this is not a classic game in terms of the size of your vehicles or your crafting engines. Later in the game, you will have singular crafting engines that take up to 3 squares on the ground, in some cases 3 high as well. So if you are the kind of person that wants to build one base, keep in mind that you are going to want to account for some very large vehicles and engines later in the game. Another tip is your original thief. Wait, thief. See, thief. Okay, there we go. Another tip is your original fief is not the end of the road. You can actually extend your fief out in different directions and also vertically and horizontally. Keep in mind, it does mean that the taxes are going to go up, but whenever you pick a base location, keep in mind that the first place you place the fief is where you have to start everything. Also keep in mind that vertical ones do not go up or down. They go up and down. So if you place a horizontal spacer, it will go out whichever direction you do it. But if you do a vertical one, it doesn't go up or down. It goes like this. So if you're wanting to build up a mountain, then you're going to want to try to put your fief in the middle where you're going to want to build and then extend out to where you want to go that way. It's a little bit different how they do it in this game, but if you want to do some of the very cool builds, you may have to keep that in mind. The cap on extensions, by the way, is 5. There we go. Okay. There's a line in here about must-have unique items. I don't think I'm going to do that right now, but we may do that in the future, actually. We'll see. But that may be a good one. Oh! One of the coolest forms of QOL in this game is the ability to activate and, well, hold on, let's start over at the beginning. One of the coolest features of base QOL in this game is the ability to manipulate your vehicle's inventory only if it's in your base area. So right now I have a couple buggies, I've got ornithopters, all sorts of stuff. Whenever you open a storage, if you go to this top left menu, you can click this and all of your all of your available vehicles are right here for you to look at. What's super nice about this is not only does it make it so when you pull back a big haul, you can immediately store it wherever you want, but you can also use your vehicles to move resources around your base incredibly easily, especially in Assault Ornithopter. It's basically a giant container. So you can just go to your container, move over whatever you'd like, and then go over to your other location, select whatever you did, and move it right back. So these vehicles have a ton more storage than you do, especially the buggies. So this is a quick way to move things around your base if you'd like to. Cohh can speak good. He can, yes. Cohh speak real good. Okay. Anytime you're out in the world, make sure to pick up any mission items you see. These are items that are generally in golden containers that you may see inside of Imperial testing stations and some of the different dungeons. These items can sometimes instantly complete quests. They will register if you get the quest later, and most importantly, they do not take up an inventory space. So this is a two-part tip. The first one is always pick up inventory items when you see them. There were some bugs with them in beta, but I think they did smooth them out. And the second tip is, anytime you're at one of the main locations, there are contract boards that you will see at them. Make sure anytime you stop by any of the trade posts that you check those contract boards, because a lot of times the items you find may be for those. Another tip is to make sure that you every so often go into your journeys area and confirm that none of your quests are waiting to be contact. This game has a mechanic that is pretty cool, but unfortunately has a downside. The mechanic is when you complete a quest, it doesn't want to like pop up the quest completion window while you're in combat. So you can delay it and contact the quest issuer later to continue or advance the quest. Cool feature. Unless you miss the fact that that prompt popped up, and when you don't press the key, it just doesn't tell you again. So sometimes you may have to come into your journey section and then go into your contracts, and you will actually see an icon on some of these quests. If you click it, contact issuer will be lit up. Click on that and it will complete or continue the quest. Okay, cool. Happy early birthday, Cohh. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, my actual birthday is the 25th, tomorrow, but thank you. Okay. Another quick one. There are multiple different tiers of resources around the areas and around Haga Basin, your main map. And these tiers of resources are very important to find and understand where they are. So one of the big ones, aluminum, you'll find in Eastern Shield Wall. Once you start looking for things like the crystal needed for duraluminum, you're looking into shale, although bring a radiation suit. And as you kind of move around the world, you'll notice that different elements are kind of coagulated in different areas. There's multiple different ways to approach this. You can move your main base. You can build satellite bases. You can drive your buggy across the whole map if you want to, like I did many times. There's lots of different ways to do it. But one thing to always keep in mind is, as you're exploring around Haga Basin, be constantly looking at what minerals are available and where, and kind of keep that in mind when you are thinking about future base expansion. Cool. Oh, another great one. When picking your class at the beginning of the game, it can be advantageous to pick a class that has a good traversal skill. This game works in traversal stages. The first one is on foot, the second one is on wheels, and the third one is with wings. And as you move through these stages of the game, the way that you play it pretty dramatically changes. At the start of the game, I strongly recommend either getting the Bene Gesserit or the Swordmaster classes. Not only are these two classes harder to get a little bit, but the Bene Gesserit Sprint and the Swordmaster Knee Charge are some excellent early game traversal skills. You also get access to the Planetologist and the Trooper relatively early through the questing in Haga Basin. So if you pick one of those classes first, it's kind of a wasted slot since you can get those two pretty easily early on. Pair those with a good Suspenser and you'll be flying around in no time. Making a tips video? We are. Yeah, we're almost done too, I think. Another little tip, and this is a fun one. There's no fall damage in vehicles. So if you ever absolutely need to get to the bottom of that chasm, whip out your sand bike and go for a ride. It's gonna be a good time. There you go. At the top of Mesa Trail is a corpse that you will want to loot every time you pass by it. Simply land on the top of the tallest building, walk off the front onto the little platform right below the top, and loot that corpse or a T3 blueprint, some spiced aluminum, and some great resources of that tier. You can do this multiple times per day, so just get in the habit of doing it anytime you stop by. There we go. Does Cohh know that the servers are going down in 15 minutes? Did you know that I'm leaving for 3 days and 15 minutes? Oh my. Okay. When you're exploring in this game, break out of your gaming mantra. Look up. This game deals with a lot of verticality, and a lot of times looking up is how you're going to find some of the best loot in some areas. There was a particular area at the beginning of this playthrough that I passed through probably 30 plus different times, and it wasn't until a viewer said, "Why isn't he getting the good chest in here every time?" that I realized I'd not been looking up. Looking up showed me a little passageway that led to some of the best loot in the area that I could have been looting every other time I'd gone through there. But I didn't, because I wasn't looking up. So anywhere you are, look up. Okay. Being sheltered in this game is incredibly important, and the different sheltered states are important to understand, particularly the first one, sheltered. If a sandstorm is happening, or you are way too hot and needing water, you need to get sheltered. If a sandstorm passes over you and you are not sheltered, or the vehicle you're using is also not sheltered, you will get a huge amount of damage. Your vehicle will take damage. It is a very bad thing. It will kill you. In fact, over 60,000 players were killed by sandstorms as they recently released. So be very aware that being sheltered means that you are covered and protected from sandstorms, but you are not fully enclosed from everything. There's also enclosed, which is the next step up, and then water sealed, which is generally what you are in the base. These are different kind of variations of how covered you are, the water sealed being the best possible one. But just keep in mind, there's 4 different states, and you just need to be aware of what they are and where you are, and if they are important to your survival. Cool. Any tips for players that may be going solo? Oh, yeah. So one of the best tips for solo players is, although I don't recommend rushing anything, I would probably say, and make sure people understand, that as a solo player, one of the biggest jumps you will get in this game is when you get a buggy with a mining laser. It is important to understand that a mining laser will get more resources faster out of the same nodes and put it in a larger storage. So one of the best things you can do is get a buggy with a mining laser on it early, get some good forward bases and resource areas that you really need, and as a solo player, that will supercharge your playthrough. What is the difference between sheltered and enclosed? Sheltered, I know, protects you from sandstorms, and you can get sheltered outside. Enclosed, you can only get inside of buildings or structures, but I don't know what the difference is there. I think that sheltered has more resistances based on heat and light, and I think that water sealed means you also get a bonus to your water reduction, like how much water you're losing. So I think, can we actually look at this? Can we look at watertight? It also, you can see the heat protection. There also may be like a passive heat protection bonus as well. Where would I look at my stats? Okay, so if I'm here, let's see if this changes if I do this. Hold on.
Good show.
Will my stats just change based on my... Okay, I'm now unsheltered. Biome heat increased. 41.3, 53.0. $41.300. There you go. Okay. So that's a pretty big change there, just from unsheltered to water. Yeah. Now, interesting. Dehydration capture, I'm assuming only goes to 53 because we're losing water and it's capturing it. So maybe when it goes to 0, it's saying that you're not losing. Do you lose any water when you're water sealed? I thought it was just less water. Is it no water? You don't lose water when water sealed. Oh, cool. I just thought it was a bonus. I guess it is water sealed, isn't it? Okay, that does make a lot of sense. Okay, we need one more of these. Oh, chat's saying you do lose water, but it's a trickle. Okay. Cool. Let's chat. Okay. Okay. All right, you are making a lot more. So now that we've broken down those other generators and made these... Oh, actually, let me check something real quick. I was curious about this, and I want to check this before we go. Okay. Yeah, careful going to shale without a radiation suit. It will wreck your face. Great. 3 days, 4 hours. 3 days, 4 hours. 3 days, 4 hours. 3 days, 4 hours. Eight days, 8 hours. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. So when you mothball your base... Oh, you know what? Hey, tip for the tip video. If you're going out of town for a while, or you need to mothball your base for a bit, make sure that your taxes are paid, but also that your base is powered. This base power in your fief is incredibly important, as if your shield goes down, vehicles will start taking damage if they're not covered, your base can start taking damage during storms. It's a really bad thing. So make sure that your generators are fueled and that everything is good to go. By the way, this button right here automatically distributes any fuel in your inventories all across your active generators. Pretty awesome. You can also manually pull all of your fuel down and then click this button if you want to equally distribute it. Hopefully they'll have a rebalance button later. But the important thing is, if you are leaving, if you see right here, your power usage is directly dependent on how much power your base is using at that time. So one of the things you can do is go around to your different settings, and they'll all normally be enabled. Disable them. And by doing that, what you'll do is you will actually reduce the total amount of power your base uses. And by doing that, you will drastically increase the amount of fuel, or the amount of time the fuel is going to process. So right now, if you look, with all those death stills on, this base is only going to be powered for 3 days. But death stills, which take a huge amount of power, if I go ahead and turn 2 of them off, we now have 8 days of power. So it's a very good system to make sure that you shut everything down completely. If you're taking a break, and that way you can save, hopefully, your base for when you get back. Cool. Yeah, taxes, I think you have a week or so. Wait, I don't understand though. When I turned all these off, did it still say 8 days? What? Wait a second. Shit. I don't understand. Oh, rebalance it now? I don't think that's going to work, but... The power is produced. It doesn't matter if you're using it or not. Wait a second. Oh, because we hit max. So wait, does that mean that tip is wrong? So how did that work when I showed that on the screen? I think my tip is wrong. But then... Your time went down because it was looking at your lowest fueled generator. Oh. Oh, dude, that's so weird. Okay. So you're saying that I just happened to turn off a machine that was tied to a generator that has lower... So let me make sure I'm understanding this properly. When all of these are turned on, one of them is pulling from a machine that has less fuel from the others. Only one of them, though. So if I turn off just this one, it's still going to be almost 5 days. If I turn off this one, it's still going to be 5 days. No, is that the one? Maybe that's the one. Maybe it's this one. Okay, so wait, can I turn these off? Maybe it's both of these. We built them at the same time, so I wonder if it's both of them. So that one's on 8 days. That one's enabled. That's so wild. So it's if... Yeah, this is weird. I'm looking at it wrong. It's not a specific machine, but a power threshold. Oh, so it's not, it's okay. Okay. So wait a second. So in other words, what you're saying is if your machines aren't balanced properly, then thresholding could get you more. But if your power is perfectly balanced, then turning off machines will never matter. Is that essentially what it is? I think that's what it is. Yes. Okay. So weirdly enough, turning off machines can help, but only if your power isn't balanced. Okay. So we will need to... hopefully, Nico, hopefully you heard all this. Because, yeah, we're definitely going to need to change that tip video a little bit. So what I'm doing now is I'm going through all of my... And see, oh God, they really need a button for this, dude. I'm going through all my stuff right now, and I'm removing it all. And then we're going to rebalance all of this back out. Servers are going down in 4 minutes. Are all servers going down in 4 minutes, or public servers? Is my server going down in 4 minutes? Uh-oh. In that case, I gotta hurry, man. Please, run, Cohh, run. Okay. There we go. All right. Oh, I know. I put some all over the place. Yeah. But I was just dumping them at that point. We're just going over here real quick. Gonna dump all this stuff back in somewhere. Here we go. Stop, dude. I don't know why those bodies keep coming up, chat. I don't even know where those bodies came from, all right? I don't know what you're talking about, dude. Okay. Great. Gotta make sure there's no tips left, too. There may be some tips left as well. Oh, yeah, absolutely, Kleinix. Kleinix says, can you make me leader before you leave so I can keep voting in the lands rad? Absolutely, sir. Where's Mr. Kleinix? Yep, there you go, Kleinix. You're good, bud. All right. So we are currently at 25 minutes of power left. Now we're at 7 days. Okay. Great. So we are fully stable until I return. We did it, chat. We did it. We did it. There's another 250 duraluminum cooking. And all these are turned on, right? Did we turn all these on? We did. Perfect. Perfect. All right. Let's see. Any more tips we want to do before we go? And we may do another tips video, to be honest. This probably isn't going to be the only one. Let's take this down. Put you in here. Put you in here. Okay. Great. Let's see. Class choice at start of game we went over. Tips for handling shielded
Time to get drenched
enemies.
in the mouth. Just drink some
I feel like that's more
water.
advanced stuff. I honestly think that's enough good. What are some other like beginner tips you think? Let's put some bodies in here. Here's a tip. Don't be afraid to put scavenge parts in your vehicles. Oh yeah, yeah. A great tip is when you're out in the wild and you find vehicle parts, particularly of ones you don't have, parts at half health actually last a long time. So if you ever find any updated parts for vehicles, make sure to pop off your lower mark ones and put in the higher mark ones for better performance. Yes, we covered starting class. Yep. Oh. Be incredibly careful using a shield or a suspensor when you are anywhere near the sand. These will bring Dave, the worm, over to you much faster than normal, as the worm sign will start freaking out whenever you use these. So especially if you're jumping around ships trying to cut off parts to loot them, or if you're out harvesting flour or spice, make sure not to have your shield on, and make sure to have your sand booties on if you have those as well. Oh yeah. Well, no, Oblivion to Tarthus, that's covered pretty early. I think we don't need to cover stuff in the tutorial, but thank you. Oh. If you're trying to keep your weight down, keep in mind the weight of containers. Some of the higher tier containers especially always have their max weight regardless if fluid are in them. So if you're trucking around some big liter johns and fluid blood bags and you're wondering why you're so heavy, keep an eye on those and maybe par down on that a bit. Okay, yeah, dude, the decantilliter John and like the max blood bags are like 15 a piece. Here's another little tip for you. If you're moving your base on a sand bike, it's a really good idea to pay attention at all times. When building your base, there are multiple different ways that the game tries to orient the pieces. If you go into the gameplay and scroll down, there's a placeable rotation build mode that I know I wanted to switch, and you might as well. By switching it from relative to player facing to independent rotation, it keeps the rotation of your pieces much more regardless of where you are. So if you build large structures, it can become a lot easier to deal with your pieces' rotations that way. That's a good one. When looting shipwrecks, keep in mind there are 3 main places to loot, both sides and the top. The small component on one of the sides, the smaller loot box, almost always contains blueprints. So if you're very low on time, or if you have a big haul and don't want to risk Dave eating you, go for the smallest one first. The others generally just have good resources at the tier that the ship is in. Okay, what's happening right now? I'm just about to leave, and I'm finishing up some tips for a tips video. So right now, my YouTube, if you look in chat, Nick Soleil is hanging out in chat. He is actually part of the CohhCarnage editing team, and they're going to be throwing together a tips video while I'm out of town. So he said before I left, he's like, can you say some tips on the stream, and we'll use that footage for the tips video? And I said, sure. So, OA Spun in chat is also part of that team as well. Gary, and I'm not going to recommend people get eaten by the worm for a free sand bike, because I feel like for a lot of people, that's going to be a super cool gaming moment when they learn they're getting a bike after having that giant downside of getting eaten by a worm. I don't want to spoil that for people. I feel like for some people, that's going to be awesome to discover, you know? Yep. Okay. When building bases, especially in the mid game, keep in mind that sometimes it's far more resource light to actually produce the resources wherever you mine them. Aluminum being a great example. By making a small satellite base, and remember, you can have up to 3, where you can just park a plane, do some mining, and do some processing, then just move the ingots back, can save you a lot of time and a lot of trips. That's a good one. I like that one. You better have fun on vacation. That's why sub says bros. I will do the best that I can. Yep. Oh. Keep in mind, whenever you're exploring around the map or whenever you're in a location for the first time, mousing over that location on the world map can show you if you've gotten the intel in that place. Anytime you're moving through Haga Basin in particular, make sure to grab any intel in any of the places that you swing by for quests. By keeping up on this and following it throughout the game, you will pretty much always have the points you want to unlock what you need. If you don't get the intel in all those locations, you may find yourself falling a little behind in mid-game, and you may have to spend some time going out and doing just that. Cool. Oh. Throughout the game, you're going to have the main quest, which, to put it bluntly, is actually pretty awesome. But on top of that, you're also going to be able to choose a faction. Keep in mind that choosing a faction, although you can betray it later, does not mean that you are locked to only that faction's cosmetics or items. You can purchase both factions' cosmetics, regardless of which side you pick. It's just the opposing side's prices are generally about twice as expensive. Working through these faction quests will not only be very entertaining for you, but also unlock faction levels that will get you cosmetics and other fun stuff for your builds. So make sure to keep that in mind and make sure to follow those lines whenever you'd like to get that done. As a small side note, working through those lines early can also get you access to some ornithopter parts that you can purchase. So if you're the kind of person doing full map clearing and you have a whole bunch of money you're sitting on, something you may want to look at early. Oh. I didn't realize that. I didn't know the small ones moved. Really?
At CohhCarnage, if you are 100% in each zone, make sure you complete the zone before the Coriolis, as the smaller Pois will disappear from your map afterwards.
I didn't know that. That's kind of wild. Yeah, who's Dave the Worm? So, Nixo, I hope that's good, because unfortunately I just realized I really gotta go. But guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I think that'll be like our first tips video there. Thanks to all my Dune friendos on the server. It is always a blast playing with you guys. I'm out, y'all. I turn 41 tomorrow, so I'm going to go to the beach and hang out with my family for a little bit. While I am gone, there will be replays on twitch.tv/Cohh. I will raid over there right now for the rest of the day. If you would like to hang out with this amazing community and watch some viewer-voted reruns while I'm gone, that will be up from 8 to 4 each day at twitch.tv/Cohh. And if you hang out right now, they'll raid over right then. When I get back, we'll begin Death Stranding 2, probably at 8 a.m. ET on the 28th. We will be doing more Dune, probably in afternoon and cozy streams as updates happen and as I have various base stuff to do. And I actually still have some goals I want to do in there too. And then on the 30th, as a quick reminder, we're doing a big charity stream for the American Heart Association. I would love if you could stop by. It's going to be from probably 8 to 12 on the 30th. The goals will be things like bringing back the mohawk, maybe a handlebar mustache, maybe a couple hours of date everything. We'll see. We have some interesting ones. Maybe actually finishing some of the other goals I owe you. That'd be a fun goal, right? But yeah, we're going to work on getting all that stuff keyed up. It's all for charity, so it should be a great time. And yeah, and somebody said, I got the very nice message from somebody saying, I know we tip the mods, but can I tip you directly for your birthday? And my answer is, no, you can't. If you've enjoyed my entertainment and you want to get me a birthday present, then what I ask you to do is be here on the 30th. Normally, we would do the charity stream on my birthday, but since I'm not going to be here, we're doing it on the 30th. So you want to buy me a birthday present? Come to the charity stream on the 30th. Help support charity. That's what I would like for my birthday from you. All right, guys, have a great one. I will see you in a little bit, maybe tweeting out some stuff, maybe not. We'll see. I don't know. And on that note, I will see you folks later for more fun and games. Enjoy Pasco. Thank you, mods. Have a great one, guys. Bye-bye.